HSR like have a terrible like arc when it comes to like the story right now. Boy oh boy, do I have some drama going around in the WutheringWaves community right now, which is Hoyoverse trying to manipulate the market in a sense where it's contractually obligating content creators not to play or promote WutheringWaves right now. Today we're going to be checking out one of the content creators by the name of Kevin, I believe. And this guy came out and sort of like got contractually obligated not to promote WutheringWaves, according to him at least. So we're going to be reacting to this, and yeah, let me know what your thoughts in the comments down below. You're ready to pull for your favorite character, but there's one problem. No loot ice. Instead of overpaying through the in-game store, head to lootbar.gg, today's sponsor, where the recharge process is fast, safe, and simple. You'll get an 11% discount plus a 10% new user coupon, saving you almost 21% compared to the official price. Your loot ice will arrive in seconds, and you'll be back in the game summoning top-tier characters and weapons. I was super skeptical of this, that I ran my own test, and it says that you'll get delivered your loot ites in 30 minutes, but I got them in under 5 minutes. It was really fast. So with thousands of positive reviews and unbeatable prices, lootbar.gg is the smarter way to recharge in WutheringWaves. Click the link in the description in order to start saving money now.
A year ago today, I decided I'm no longer going to cover the game. I had spent about 1 month on my YouTube channel covering the game, and then it all came to an end. Until very recently. And today we're going to talk about my story covering WutheringWaves, why I dropped in on the first place, why I decided to come back, and why at the time I thought Genshin Impact was a better game. You what? Today we're going to talk about all of it.
Wait, what? Did he say?
I thought Genshin Impact was a better game. You what?
At that time,
Today
okay.
We're going to talk about all of it and how WutheringWaves has completely reinvented and changed my mind on its game. Boys, I think this
bro looks like he's not contractually obligated anymore.
is one of the better redemption stories. Let's get straight into it. So back during the WuWa 1.0 update, I was actually a pretty big content creator for the game. I would say pretty big, it's relative, but early on into the game, I was covering it pretty normally on my channel. I was doing about 30
Okay, 35.
35K, 22K, 49K. I was doing pretty well on my
That's decent, okay.
WutheringWaves videos. Early on, I was having a lot of fun in the game. I joined the creator server. I was playing pretty much every day, and then it all came crashing down. The amount of issues that came out during WuWa 1.0 is, I'm sure, something that I don't need to reiterate to you all, because I'm sure we're all familiar with it. But during the 1.0 launch, I would consider it one of the most, if not the most disastrous launch in gacha gaming history. It was a very buggy launch. There were a ton of unpolished issues.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this. It's like I played the game since the beginning. You can go back to my channel and check it out. And I covered the game since day one, basically, and I never encountered any of these bugs. I'm sure that there are specific cases where people got these bugs and went through this horrible sort of like experience, but I feel like this is based on what sort of like device you're using, because there is a lot of technicality into it. I've been using sort of like, before I bought this computer that I'm using right now, I've been using a 1080 and I never experienced any problem when it comes to performance and also the bugs. Sure, the only thing that I went through in WutheringWaves is probably the bad sort of like optimization of the game. You're not getting a high sort of like sort of IPS and stuff, but other than that, I didn't experience anything that of this sort, honestly. Probably like the dialogue and also like the voice actors. That's the most thing that sort of like I struggled with, and my brain didn't accept at the beginning of WutheringWaves. Like I'm talking about like the 1.1, 1.2, maybe 1.3. But other than that, I didn't see any of these bugs where I'm teleporting and stuff. But yeah,
that definitely need to be sorted out.
Something that I should like note is that I feel like people took this as out of proportion in order to sort of like ruin the launch of WutheringWaves. All right, let me reiterate on that, because like I feel like a lot of shills will come for me. Basically, what's going on is that there is a lot of people that are die-hard fans when it comes to gacha games. And the moment that a gacha game that got released that is similar or sort of like a main competition to their favorite games, they will try to do anything in their power to ruin that launch in order not to ruin this like their favorite game. Like I feel like there is this hoax in the gacha community. Whenever a game that is competing with your favorite game, a lot of people just like hate on it and try to destroy it straight ahead, instead of like taking it as a competition that will elevate your favorite game and push them to sort of like essentially wake up. Like, what are you doing? Well, I just like, yeah, it's just like pisses me off sometimes. But yeah, as WuWa Daddy, I needed to explain that.
Before they released the game, I think if they had just given it maybe 1 or 2 extra months and polished out some of those more finer details,
okay,
they definitely
fair
would have
point.
a lot better product upon launch. But nonetheless, they weren't finished out. There were problems with mobile gaming, with some of the funniest screenshots I've ever seen, with characters getting completely bugged out.
I don't know about the mobile experience, but I heard like some mixed like sort of like reviews when it comes to mobile. Of course, like it depends on your device, but yeah, it's like it wasn't this big. Am I missing something? Like, let me know in the comments down below. It's like, did I miss something? Because like I said, it's like I covered the game day one and I still didn't struggle as much as this guy claiming. But I don't know.
Extremely underwhelming story that felt drawn out, somewhat boring, and voice acting that just wasn't there. Or
the voice actor, voice acting, I'm with you in.
That just wasn't there.
How? What? Honestly, from the way that he's speaking, I feel like it's a guy that probably got tired from covering like sort of like Hoyoverse. My headset is about to die, but it's like I feel like he probably like got tired of playing like Genshin or playing like I don't know, like ZZZ or whatever, and he decided to sort of like, maybe it's time to jump on the WuWa, because WuWa is pretty big right now. But yeah, I could be mistaken. Like, I need to go into a channel and check the numbers. Is the numbers like dwindling down because nobody's interested in those games, and like WuWa is the next hot commodity essentially? But yeah.
There's some very funny clips from early on where it sounds like Rover's supposed to be screaming, but instead of screaming, they're just like talking to Scar.
You're not going anywhere.
But nonetheless, the 1.0 story was, I would say, a big down point of WutheringWaves. A lot of other complaints.
Honestly, I didn't mind the story. You know, am I the only one that I enjoyed the story? Like Shengli Yao, like Zheshe and everybody else, I enjoyed their stories. Like Zheshe, like Yin Lin, they weren't like essentially bad. They weren't like terrible to the point that it's gonna like sort of like turn off people from playing the game. But I could be like, it's just me. Could be like a personal preference, or it's just like content creators taking it out of proportion just to like to make it worse than it seems. I feel like this is my analogy. Before I didn't see the video, but this is my analogy essentially, is that people didn't expect that WutheringWaves is gonna last past the 1.5. They kind of like, because like a lot of people brought down, let's take for example like final, like what is it called, Tower of Fantasy. Like a lot of people brought it back and talked shit about the game and brought it down to its knees, and then people expected that the same thing is going to happen to WutheringWaves based on the sort of like semi-lackluster like sort of like launch based on this guy's like mindset. It's like they expected it to like to fail, so they were like, oh, let's jump on the hype, get as much views as possible because a lot of people are going to be interested in it. We'll just like talk shit about it and then go back to our favorite games. And this is essentially what this guy did. He literally is just like I have nothing personal against him, but this is every YouTuber's like sort of mindset. Let's make bank from talking shit about a certain game, or sort of like let's make the initial views and then we'll be back to like playing our main audience like favorite game without like alienating like our main audience. That's just like my opinion. So this guy played it for a while, dumped it, not expecting it to be like a huge success, especially with the launch of 2.0. 2.0 patch, and then he was like, oh my god, I'm missing out on so much revenue. Now it's like Wuthering Waves is the game that is most likely gonna succeed compared to HSR maybe, or like Genshin Impact, because we heard that HSR like have a terrible like arc when it comes to like the story right now. So I could be just speculating here, but this is what is like the gacha community, or what's going around right now. So
Some other complaints where it felt like a
that's what I
Genshin,
think.
to be honest, I think they take a lot of inspiration from Genshin.
That's true.
You know what? You
They
take
do take inspiration,
from the
yeah.
best, and you make it better, which is exactly what Wuthering Waves has done since their 1.0 launch. So
I don't see the reference there, but yeah. I could be like, yeah, I'm a bit biased when it comes to Wuthering Waves. It's the main game that I'm playing since day one, but still, it's like I don't see the reference between.
best, and you make it better.
But I do believe that Wuthering Waves did take a lot of inspiration from Genshin, because Genshin like pioneered this thing, and they took everything that sort of like Genshin didn't do, or didn't listen to its audience for, or like they didn't listen to their audience, and they just like build on that. They were like, okay, you're not gonna do this, do that, and so on, and optimize and do this and so on. They just like took the formula, made it better, revamped it, and then pushed it in our faces, and that's why it's like a lot of people loved it.
Which is exactly
Because
what
yeah,
Wuthering
I
Waves
can't
has
take
done
away
since their
anything
1.0
from
launch. Some more complaints,
Genshin, so to
it was
speak.
too grindy, which I do understand. At the time, I was playing 4 gacha games, and Wuthering Waves was, I think, my third, and then I picked up, I think Zenless came out after Wuthering, so I was playing all 4 at a time, which definitely took...
Bro dumped Genshin for what?
I think Zenless came out after...
For Zenless on Zero? That's
Wuthering.
crazy.
So I was playing all 4 at a time, which definitely took a big toll on
That's
me,
crazy.
and was definitely a very large reason into why I ended up
The
dropping.
more I watch this video, the more I realize that this guy is living up to my like what I thought from the beginning. Bro missed out on so many content of the game, and saw like the opportunity to I want to check out. I'm gonna take like a small sort of like I need to check out what's going on with his channel.
Well, guys, guess what?
I feel like the views like sort of like start at 20k, 25 compared to what he used to do before. Okay, the numbers are sort of like more or less are okay, 25. It seems like in the last months maybe it started to dwindle down, like 7k here and there, 27. Like, yeah, he gets like every time there is a new sort of like story or sort of like thingy, that's where you get the peak essentially. But yeah, let's see his popular stuff. They probably covered popular 1 year ago. HSR, is this Genshin Impact? Okay, 319. So it's sort of like dwindled down compared to what it used to be essentially. So that's why it's like he realized maybe that he missed out on so much. And he needs to like to start to sort of like tell his audience that he needs to cover some WuWa. I could be mistaken here.
All at once, even though I would have loved to drop Genshin at the time, I simply couldn't because I was contractually.
Oh, here we go. This is what I heard in the in my Discord server.
Was because I just simply couldn't handle playing the 4 big gachas all at once, even though I would have loved to drop Genshin at the time.
So you can tell, like,
because I was contractually obligated to play Genshin at the time. And in fact, even a larger egg among that, which you may find a bit of an interesting tidbit, because I was contracted to play Genshin, the people who were contracting me to play the game had actually advised me to make less Wuthering Waves content. Now, I eventually broke my contract off from these people, but that's a larger egg for another day. I think we'll leave that untouched for now.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Like, I don't know about you guys, but it's like the fact that $1 billion company like has to like to tell their content creators not to make like a video on other games because you don't believe that you have a good enough product to compete with other products is kind of crazy to me. Like, if you feel like your product is underperforming, you improve like your product instead of just like telling it like it's like me is like preventing other people from sort of like selling their stuff because I know that they're gonna take a huge share of the market. instead of me like spending money and improving the essential the product in order to gain more consumers. But
know that I did have content restrictions from a third party that did not allow me to cover Wuthering Waves as much, which was another factor that ultimately led me to drop the game in the 1.0 launch. I think I played...
I feel like he's contradicting himself a little bit, but it could be me, because he said the 1.0 got so much like problems and stuff like that, and it was horrible. And then he said he's contradiction, like, what is it called, like contractually obligated not play the game. Okay, it's either this or this, sort of.
And then I never ended up coming back. And then there was no Wuthering Waves on my channel for the next 1 year. I ultimately decided to drop Genshin Impact and Zenless Zone Zero as well, becoming a purely Honkai Star Rail channel, which I do think was something I regret doing. I should have dropped Genshin earlier. I should have broke my contract earlier, continued to play Wuthering Waves. But it's really hard to predict the trajectory of a game, and I didn't expect Wuthering Waves.
So it's like, is every like Genshin Impact player right now is contractually obligated to play the game, and that's why it's like they can't leave it? Do they get paid to play the game? Oh my god, I need to jump on that. I'm just kidding. WuWa Daddy.
And I think when it started to
I need to stay faithful for my favorite game.
2.0 update of Wuthering Waves. Now, there were good stories before the 2.0 update. I actually played the 1.3 Black Shore update. That had an amazing story, but I think the update as a whole was probably a little lackluster. But version...
I thought he said it's like the 1.0 was a horrible update. What is going on here?
2.0 is when everything changed for Wuthering Waves. There were major quality of life improvements. We're talking flying. They added flying to the game, which was super dope. Not that their movement wasn't already superior to everything else at the time, being like grappling, wall running. Their movement has always been superior to every other gacha game that I can think of. But on top of that, they introduced one of the best stories, being the early 2.0 Renacita story, which was very, very compelling and one I enjoyed very much. Now, they have expanded since then. We're going to get into that. But there was also the new region of Renacita, which is just, again, another fun region to explore, because with the introduction of flying and the already good movement techniques in the game, it just made for an even...
Why do I feel like he didn't play the game? I feel like he didn't play the game. Like he literally like reading from bullet points.
More fun experience playing and interacting with the world. Not to
interacting with the world. Okay.
The amount of free polls they gave out that update, I think it was a ludicrous amount. I remember I actually logged in for that update just so I can go and get one character, and then I ended up getting that character and then logging off again, because unfortunately 2.0 was not enough to convince me to come back.
What? 2.0 was amazing.
Gender switching, the immersion mode, the early boss access, new echoes and weapons, all of that wasn't enough to convince me to come back to the game. I was still a doubter. In 2.0, I still thought, I don't think this game's going to make a comeback. I saw the new characters. I saw Carlotta. I saw Rosia. I pulled Rosia. And in fact, even right now, I have Rosia on my account, but I haven't built her yet.
I thought he said he'd been playing since 1.3. Did I missing something? This guy is like talking out of his ass. Like, what is going on?
I really need to build this character.
I have nothing personal against him, but
I will eventually.
This guy keeps on contradicting himself. Like, how can you... Bro, don't build her. She sucks ass. But he's like, what the fuck is going on? She's level 60? He does have Cartethiya.
All of that wasn't enough to convince me to come back. I think it was probably just a mix of I was busy with HSR at the time, and I think there might have been a big HSR patch, so I just really wasn't paying attention to what was happening in WuWa. I was kind of blind to it. I don't interact with a lot of community discussion, so unless it like super blows up on YouTube, I usually don't hear about it. So it wasn't like I really made a decision to not play 2.0. I just didn't really hear about it. It's only now that I'm learning about everything that they did in 2.0 and how much better it was than everything else at the time. And looking back at it, I'm like, man, I really wish I came back during that update. It would have been really cool. But nonetheless, another 2 updates patches. We had 2.1, 2.2. I don't think anything too crazy happened during those updates.
Nothing happened? One of the best fillers? Like, in the game, essentially.
Same thing with 2.3. I don't think there was anything too crazy that happened during those updates.
Released like one of the two hyped up characters in Wuthering Waves.
Stories, new region, a bunch of good characters like Zani I know came out.
Okay.
And the craziest character of all time, that one jellyfish lady with the tongue thing. Now that almost convinced me to come back. But nonetheless, I didn't really hear a lot of hype around WuWa until what came with the 2.4 update, being the Cartethiya release. Cartethiya, I think? Cartethiya? That's when
Bro doesn't even know her name.
Hype came back to Wuthering Waves.
What does he pronounce her like that?
Started to get rings of, oh, I'm missing out. And I realized what
They're missing out on so many views, that's why. This is essentially what content creators do, I feel like.
I'm in the middle of playing HSR. I vehemently hate that story. I think Honkai Star Rail is one of the worst stories in gacha gaming, and I will stand on that. I wasn't playing Genshin. I'm kind of playing ZZ, but I wasn't following up on the story. And I'm hearing all this, oh, WuWa has such a great story. So I said, fine. And I went back to the game starting at the 1.3 update because I was still at the 1.3 story. I hadn't progressed up until then. And originally, I had wanted to go live and experience it with my viewers. But what I actually realized is that interacting to stories live, it's just not something I enjoy doing. I really want to immerse myself in the story, and I can just do that way better when I'm playing it alone. So I loaded it up on my PlayStation. I sat in my bed, and I went through the whole 1.3 story all the way up till 2.0, maybe 2.3, I think, in about 2 sittings. And holy crap, was it ever an experience. I'm now in love with Shorekeeper in real life. Favorite story until the latest one. Cartethiya amazing. Lupa.
I don't know, it's like he overshadowed like the Ixchangli story. And also like he said like he clearly mentioned like that 1.3 was not his favorite one, but I could be mistaken here.
But oh my gosh, don't even get me started on Lupa. Lupa probably also my favorite character. There's too many good characters. I swear every WuWa story is like one character story mixed with a main chapter story all into one, and they're expanding so much on all these characters that it literally just makes you want to pull them all. And so I did pull them all. I came back to 2.3, pulled me a Cartethiya.
Why is bro pronouncing her name like that?
And a Lupa. And I've never regretted it. I got Lupa's weapon too.
Level 90.
Boys,
Yeah.
I've never been having more fun in gacha gaming than I am with this. Honestly,
Bro
it's
became
not even something I
the
even
biggest
really want to cover on YouTube because
Kuro
I actually
Games
enjoy it so much
bot ever.
that other than,
Kuro
like, maybe
bot
building videos
overnight.
and pulling videos, I just want to experience it all myself. I'm greedy. I don't want to experience it with you guys because then I'm forced to do commentary. I have to think of funny jokes on the spot. I can't just lock in, which is something I want to do, especially with this. But getting into more of the 2.4 update, it was such a great update for Wuthering Waves. A crap ton of free pulls. Also, oh my gosh. Yeah, that too, which was cinema. Cartethiya being one of the best DPSs in the whole game, being HP scaling, arrow DPS, has like some really cool combat abilities that
I feel like these are just like notes that he's like. There's nothing wrong with notes and stuff like that, but it doesn't sound genuine to me. It seems like it's more like I'm trying to sort of like enter the WuWa market, so I need to tell my audience like about WuWa just in case I start making content on it.
haven't seen in any characters like her. Definitely has some of the best animations in gacha gaming history. I still think HSR probably takes the cake with the Phynon and the dragon being super freaking dope. But nonetheless, what HSR was able to do with Cartethiya, with Lupa, is something
Bro, he's
I've
confused.
never seen before. There's never been an update that's made me want to pull a character.
I mean, made me want to pull a character based on what happened in the story.
The second half of 2.4 has been my favorite story of all time. The first half was good too. Getting to Septimont, learning about Augusta, and I can't remember the blue-haired character's name, but she was super cool too. Learning about the lore of that city, getting all this mystery, and then not getting any conclusions was so frustrating. But then the second half in 2.4, when they start slowly unraveling the mysteries one by one by one by one, and learning more about Lupa and her purpose in the story, in the past with Maya and Trailblazer, letting Lupa be the main character.
Bro is confused with the characters.
And that final action battle with Lupa versus Maya, or technically the Thermodian, and them fighting was one of the sickest scenes I've ever seen. And then Lupa breaking out, coming to hug Cartethiya and Rover, had me in tears. It was so moving, that whole story. And Lupa easily became one of my favorite characters based on that.
I don't know. I feel like this guy is not genuine, honestly, but it's like it could be me.
And also, that boy, Cristolfo, whatever that dude name is, I do not mess with him at all. But nonetheless, that was my favorite update, and probably all of Gacha Gaming, easily. And since then, I've been so in love with WuWa. It's been all I've been wanting to do recently, and that's been even more impacted by the 2.5 update with the introduction of Furlova, who, again, had a really good character quest, or main story quest. I'm gonna be honest, these main quests are such character quests, but main story quests are this all, I said this before, but they're all kind of mixed as one, and they do such a good job at just building up these characters in the main story quest as a character quest, even though rest in peace for Lova. Well, they do such a good job of building up these characters. And again, you know, I had to pull for Lova, never got her weapon because sad, but I had to pull her. There wasn't an option. Again, another super fun character. I love her gameplay. I love her.
I don't know. My main take from this video is basically like, hey, yo, WuWa audience, look at me. I'm playing the game and I'm really liking the game, and I'm probably gonna make content on it because there is potential to get views and stuff like that. So that's why I'm making content on it. Listen up. I needed to make this. I need to make this video. I needed to do this. I needed to do this. It's like the being contractually like obligated not to make WuWa content is crazy to me as well.
Animated everything is in this game. I always go through this game, and whenever I'm watching a story, okay, I think, okay, when's the black wall white text gonna appear? And you know, the one time it appears, it's with the most emotional words Furlova's ever said, and it comes at a time when you're not expecting it, and then when it appears, you're like, oh crap. And you know exactly what she's talking about, and it has so much meaning, and it's not used as a function to like not do an animation. For example, when Age of Stardust is black screen white text, they do it so they don't have to animate it. For example, Saber eating a burger, they have to write that out because they can't pay to have Saber eat the burger. But at the one moment where WuWa does it, it's for an emotional impact. It's Furlova's, I think, final words in the story, and I think it's all about waiting for the rover and her time waiting for the rover, which I thought was such a beautiful story. And
I agree. That is a good story. But
I think that about covers my journey with WutheringWaves. We love about it now. I think
it's gonna be interesting if he's gonna be making more content on it.
Of our generation. Will there be a better one in the future? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I probably glazed a little too much in this video, but
he did glaze. He became a huge Kurobot. Like, he's up there with Saint Tontos, I feel like.
I'd really appreciate it if you could like this video, maybe drop a subscription, but nonetheless, that's gonna be all for me. I'm gonna see you all in the next one.
Interesting. I don't know. The oh boy, I see someone battling for the #1 Kurobot spot. Drop country for WuWa. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I feel like this is like, the thing is that like the part where he's like talking about being contractually like obligated not to play WutheringWaves, sort of like crazy to me. Like I said earlier, like, how can $1 billion corporation stop like a content creator from giving their actual like sort of like like point, because like you're basically biased. If you're being bought to play the game, I feel like you can't make your opinion, because I literally had so many like sponsors and stuff like that. And I always say, it's like, if I'm gonna play the game, I'm gonna like let my viewers decide if it's worth it or not, and I'm gonna say if I don't like it or I do like it. But the fact that they can force you not to play a game just because it's a game that might ruin their revenue is kind of sketchy to me. I could be mistaken here. It could be like something. I never had sort of like that contract, so I don't know how it actually works there. But it doesn't seem like very genuine to me. I can imagine seeing this guy sort of like start making freaking videos, WuWa videos. But yeah, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think of that. Let me know what you guys think of overall, like, people are slowly realizing how good WutheringWaves is. I have nothing personal, of course, against this guy, but yeah, it's just like I can tell when people are not being genuine. I don't know if it's something like related to content creators. Like you can tell, like, if people are just like saying it for the sake of saying it and not like for being genuine. You can see like the views are dwindling down. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.